Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another turbo mock. If you guys are brand new to the channel, what we do here is we do turbo mocks. We go through and make a mock draft, and then we only take about 10 to 15, maybe 20 seconds to explain every single pick. That way we can keep it nice and short and I'm not hogging up the majority of you guys' day. I feel as though the best way for me to provide my information is to streamline it and get it to you guys as fast as possible. I don't want to hang you guys up for 30 minutes. So I like to keep my content nice and light, not too hard to digest. If that kind of draft content interests you guys, I suggest you hit the subscribe button down below. That way you can stay up to date with my most recent videos and we can go through this draft process together. Before we jump into this thing, because there's so much uncertainty with the quarterbacks in the NFL right now, you got things like Derek Carr, not sure what team he's going to go to. Lamar Jackson might be on the trade block. Aaron Rodgers is on some kind of retreat right now. We're just going to hold off on all the quarterback trades in this draft. We've mocked a lot of those scenarios already, so you can go back on my videos if you guys are interested in that. But today, the only trade that we're going to do is we're going to trade the Colts up to the first overall pick. The Colts right now feel like the most realistic team to trade up to the first overall. Just the way Jim Irsay has been talking about the quarterbacks and how desperate they are for a young one. I think trading the fourth overall, first next year, as well as the second, might be enough to get the deal done. But we're just going to force that trade today. After trading up to the first overall pick, the Colts are going to take Bryce Young. This is their QB1, so they're just going to take their guy and move forward with a brand new quarterback. With the second overall pick, the Houston Texans definitely need their quarterback of the future. They're just going to take the second best quarterback in this class. It couldn't be more obvious to me. CJ Stroud, Houston Texans, second overall pick. I've been taking Will Anderson here at the third overall for the Cardinals. We're going to change it up and just go Jalen Carter. I think those guys are interchangeable as the best defensive player in the draft. After trading back from the first overall, the Bears are going to luck out big time here. They just got a bunch of draft picks, but they're also going to be able to select Will Anderson Jr. You couldn't ask for a better scenario there for the Bears. They're getting a generational talent as well as accruing so many draft picks here. I've seen some crazy talk lately. People have Tyree Wilson over Will Anderson Jr. Now, I won't go that far, but I've dug into some Tyree Wilson lately, and I'm really liking the play strength. He looks like he's going to be a stud in the league. So we're going to secure that player here to the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to drastically improve that edge rush as well as be able to stop the run very well. I can't stop and won't stop drafting a cornerback here for the Detroit Lions. The top three cornerbacks are all in the same tier for me. The scouts love Gonzo. They love Witherspoon. They also love Joey Porter Jr. I don't think we've drafted Christian Gonzalez at the 6th overall yet, so we're going to get it out of the way and do it here. Although I'm not the biggest Will Levis guy on the planet, I'm not naive, and I know that he's going to get drafted in the top 10. His measurables are too crazy. His arm strength is out of this world. Teams fall in love with the upside of these kind of guys, so we're going to select him here for the Raiders at the 7th overall. My favorite selection for the Falcons are always the edge rushers. We're going to do that again here. There's three players that I have in mind for this pick, one being Myles Murphy, the second being Lucas Van Ness, but also the third's going to be Will McDonald. I have been really impressed with Will McDonald as of late. Digging into his film, I think his upside's immense. The defensive scheme that he was playing in just didn't suit his skill set. I think he's going to be a surefire top half of the first round guy. He almost reminds me a little bit of like a Will Anderson. He's got a little slimmer frame, but they had him playing as like a traditional defensive end. He was still super productive with Iowa State, and I think he can be used in a different role and be even more efficient as a pass rusher. I'm probably going to be on repeat this entire draft cycle. Anthony Richardson to the Carolina Panthers. It's the perfect upside swing here for a team that needs a quarterback. I love the upside for the team. It's not the biggest risk with the 9th overall pick, and I believe Anthony Richardson's a better prospect than Will Levis anyway, but we're going to go get the potential franchise quarterback for the Panthers here. The Eagles are losing Bradbury this offseason. Slay is getting up there in age. We're probably always going to take a cornerback at this spot, but we're going to mock Devin Witherspoon to the Eagles here. I absolutely love what I saw on tape. I think Witherspoon's a borderline top 10 talent in this entire class, so we're going to go shore up that CB2 spot with the upside of being a CB1. We're taking Peter Skoronski to the Titans here, not complicating this one. Their franchise left tackle is going to retire or he's going to be cut, so it's time to just get some fresh blood on that offensive line here with Peter Skoronski. There's some Laramie Tunsil rumors that are floating around for the Texans. He might be getting traded. There's just been some rumblings about the uncertainty of his future with the Texans. We're going to draft a franchise left tackle here for them. They just drafted CJ Stroud. We're going to get his Ohio State left tackle in Paris Johnson Jr. We're going to take 3 offensive tackles in a row here. The Jets are going to draft the last guy in that top tier of offensive tackles in this class. They're going to take Broderick Jones. That's going to be right ahead of the Patriots. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, I love Broderick Jones to the Patriots. So it's kind of a bummer here in this mock, but we'll make it happen. My New England Patriots are on the clock here. Now, this is a team that needs a damn tackle. They need wide receivers. They need corners. But I have a hunch that Jordan Addison's going to be the first wide receiver drafted in this class. We're going to take the fun option. We're going to take Jordan Addison here. Now, the reason I take Jordan Addison is because the offense that we run, we prefer to use a little bit more shifty guys who can uncover. I think with our current quarterback situation, as well as offensive tendencies, I don't think Quentin Johnston fits our offense too well. I do love the JSN fit, and I think he's probably the best fit for New England. But I think here at pick 14, that might be a little rich for someone like JSN. Jordan Addison's going to slide right into our offense and be the most explosive playmaker we have on the field. With the Packers on the clock, we're going to surround whoever the quarterback is with a bunch of talent. We like what we saw from Christian Watson. Romeo Doubs might be a player. I'm not really sure yet. But Quentin Johnston here, a prototypical X receiver. You're getting a discount here at the 15th overall for someone with his upside. At pick 16, the Washington Commanders could go a bunch of different ways. It doesn't sound like they're going to pick up Chase Young's 5th-year option. So they're going to stop the fall of Myles Murphy here. They're going to get an excellent edge rusher. They're going to reset that clock at edge. And if they want to let Chase Young walk after the year, so be it. They're going to have a nice, young, really good edge rusher on the roster already. I think this team's a few years away from competing, so it's okay to make plays like this. Our channel has been very high on Darnell Wright for a while now. The scouts are starting to catch up. They're starting to mock Darnell Wright in the first round. We're going to take him here at pick 17 for the Steelers. I think you're getting an excellent right tackle prospect. It's like a set and forget offensive tackle who has some really impressive tape. I think he's a really safe pick here. With the Detroit Lions pick, we're going to take Lucas Van Ness. Now this is a freaky athlete, somebody who will fit right into that defensive scheme. He's going to be able to play on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. And I just don't know if I see Lucas Van Ness falling any deeper than this. This is a team that needs a little bit more defensive line help. Their offense is amazing, and you can never have too many good edge rushers. I hate drafting for the Bucs because they need so many positions, but this selection here is just a no-brainer for me. Joey Porter Jr., there's no way he makes it to the 19th overall. This is a team that needs CB pretty bad. Jamel Dean is walking in free agency. Hopefully my Patriots get him. But this is a team that just needs to get young playmakers on the roster. They're not ready to compete now, but you get an elite player like Joey Porter Jr., you're starting to head in the right direction. It looks like the Seahawks are going to move forward with Geno Smith. We're going to improve that offensive line for them, and we're going to take the best right guard in the entire draft. That's Osiris Torrance, the Florida Gator. You're just getting a day one starter here. Guard is never a sexy pick, but it just happens in these first rounds. I think if you're on the clock with the 21st overall and you're looking at Jackson Smith and Jigba, there's no way they pass on this guy. If Keenan Allen happens to walk, they're just going to replace that position with the best slot wide receiver in the entire draft. His ceiling is unlimited with Justin Herbert. I believe that Zay Flowers is going to run sub 4.4 at the combine. I would not be shocked one bit if he gets selected in the first round. We're going to pair him here with Lamar Jackson, assuming that he's still on the roster. They're getting a really dynamic wide receiver, and you can pair him alongside Rashad Bateman. And then Lamar goes into the season with 3 really good receiving options. The Vikings are on the clock and they need corners. We mock corners to the Vikings almost every single draft. We're going to switch it up and go with Deontay Banks here. I think with his size, his dynamic playmaking ability, and his versatility in the secondary, he might end up getting day one capital. And I think you pair him with Brian Flores, you're going to get a really good DB. We're going to take another cornerback here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Emmanuel Forbes, probably going to end up being a day one selection. And the Jags desperately need a CB2. Saquon Barkley looks like he's not signing with the Giants, so why not replace him with Bijan Robinson here? Daniel Jones needs wide receivers, but if anybody watched the Giants last year, the entire offense pretty much ran through that elite running back. I think you can duplicate that with Bijan, and you're just resetting that clock. You're going to get Bijan for 5 years. I love it, and we've already seen what an elite running back can do in that Brian Daboll offense. We're going to stop the fall of Brian Brzee here. The Cowboys need some interior defensive line help, somebody who can get after the pass, as well as clog up the run. I think Brian Brzee is too good of a value here for the Cowboys. They need other positions, but they can address them in a bunch of different ways. With Jordan Poyer likely walking in free agency, the Bills are going to take Brian Branch here with the 27th overall pick. The only reason Brian Branch falls this far is because of positional value. Teams don't covet safeties too much unless they're like a unicorn like Kyle Hamilton or like Isaiah Simmons. Brian Branch looks like a perfect fit, especially at a position of need. They do need wide receivers as well as offensive linemen, but Poyer was such a big part of their defense, so they're going to replace him here. We're not talking about this one. You can flip a coin between DeJuan Jones and Anton Harrison. We're going to take Anton Harrison here for Joe Burrow. He's just going to get a brand new franchise left tackle. The Saints need a bunch of different positions, but they definitely need depth at that CB position. Obviously, Marshawn Lattimore is a stud, but Paulson Adebo was a really bad CB2 this year. Now, I do like his skill set, but he definitely regressed from his rookie year. We're going to take Cam Smith. He fits that vibe that New Orleans likes to have. He's got that dog in him. I think pick 29 is a really good value for a player like Cam Smith. The Eagles are going to take right tackle DeJuan Jones. Now, I know Lane Johnson was phenomenal this year, but he's getting up there in age. You need to have a plan on offensive line, especially long term with a team like this. This team looks like it's set up to compete for a long time as long as they have good young talent at important positions. Mahomes needs some receiving weapons, but not only that, Travis Kelce's getting up there in age. Now, he doesn't look like he's recessing at all, but Michael Mayer here, too good of a value. It's an offense that highly values tight ends. You're going to get the most out of Michael Mayer, especially if Travis Kelce takes a step back. You're getting an elite prospect here for Mahomes, and I think the upside here is like one of the best tight ends in the league. All right, a very quick recap of what we did. The Colts trade up for the first overall and take Bryce Young. Stroud goes to the Texans. The Bears get Will Anderson after getting a bunch of draft picks for trading back. Christian Gonzalez goes 6th overall to the Detroit Lions. We can't stop drafting Will McDonald high. We just love him. The Patriots take Jordan Addison over the rest of the wide receivers in the class. Myles Murphy falls all the way to Washington. We reach a little bit on Darnell Wright. We just have a hunch that he's going to be a very, very sought after right tackle. Joey Porter Jr. falls to 19. Very unlikely, but it happened in our mock. JSN takes on the Keenan Allen role for the Chargers. We get Deonte Banks in the first round here. I think he'll be a great fit with Brian Flores as the new defensive coordinator. Bijan Robinson is going to be the Saquon Barkley replacement. And then all the way at pick 31, the Kansas City Chiefs take Michael Mayer. All right, fellas, hopefully you guys enjoyed the mock. We like to keep it fresh. We don't like to take the same players over and over again. It gets real old doing that. There was some players that fell. We reached on a few players, but overall we had a good time. You can never be too accurate. Can't always just take position of need. But most importantly, we just got a brand new look at a draft scenario. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the mock. If you guys did, please leave a like. If you guys enjoy the frequent college related content, I suggest you hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.